Someone's having a post-lunch chill, aren't you?
And I couldn't believe I did that in one take. I thought I was going to do it again and again and again. Anyway, hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats.
No. Hi everyone, my name's James Ivey.
I'm Paul Drew.
From the Studio Rats.
Ah, yes.
It is a good day. It is a good day to have lots of amps in one room. And we have the next instalment of what has now become the TSR20, the Studio Rats custom amp. And here it is. It's looking a little battered and bruised at the moment.
So this is a proper prototype.
Yeah.
So we've been through quite a few different changes.
Yeah, some tweaks
and stuff, which we're going to show at various points of this video. And the amp it's sounding fantastic, first of all, but it's sounding very different to how it originally...
Yes.
Well, when I say very different...
Still sounds like an amp.
It still sounds like an amp, but it's way more... So let's explain what we built it on. Based this on my Matchless Independence 35, which is over here, just in case the camera can see it. Now, when I use this amp, I only ever use channel 1 of this amp. I don't use the drive channels, as I tend to use pedals with it. And it is such a fantastic sounding amp. It's really versatile. It's got that matchless chime to it, but also takes pedals extremely well, which is why we wanted to create a version called the TSR20, which is...
It's an affordable matchless, really, isn't it?
An affordable matchless. I wouldn't call it affordable matchless. That cheapens it a little bit.
It does. So it's currently still in this chassis. This will not be the chassis it will live in eventually.
And it won't look anything like this.
No.
It looks like we've chosen all the aesthetics of it, and I think it looks fantastic. I hope people are going to like it when it comes out.
We've gone different, haven't we?
It's very different. So if you see this amp, if we're lucky enough that people use this amp on a stage, you'll definitely know what it is.
You'd spot it a mile off.
You would definitely.
That doesn't mean it's Dayglow pink or anything like that, although that would have been cool.
And he wouldn't let me. Yeah, he wouldn't let me have that.
However, as you can see, the bullet holes indicate that the stuff's come and gone. First things first, reverb is no more as a built-in thing. Well, it's an option.
It's an option. So originally it was going to be an option as well.
Yeah.
Now, talking to Dennis and trying different things, basically we tried the amp. We originally had reverb in this amp, a reverb circuit. Taking the reverb circuit out, because this matchless doesn't have a reverb circuit, what a difference to the tone.
Yeah, massively.
So what we're thinking is more tone than features.
Yes.
Because we don't want... The reverb is going to muddy up the tone. So if you want to add reverb, add it in the front end as far as I'm concerned.
Or after the
process, yeah.
Absolutely. So reverb has gone.
Hold on. We should actually say that it is still an option.
Yeah.
I know we did say that, but it is still an option. So if you want it with reverb, it's going to be a small amount more. We'll talk about money a little bit more.
At some point.
Yeah.
But in this version, reverb's gone. The option of a high-low input has gone because, quite frankly, I've never seen you plug into the low input of any amp.
I don't use any low inputs, and we wanted it, and speaking to Dennis, we wanted it as straight through into the amp as possible. We didn't want anything that would affect the tone. So
nothing in the way.
Exactly, which is, again, why we've done all these things.
However, the other addition since its last incarnation is a bright switch.
Yeah.
Which is currently the wrong way round, in my opinion. But because that's on and that's off, which is slightly bizarre.
Well, hold on. How'd you work that out?
Well, surely on should be down.
Well, if you look at my 2-rock beneath it, on is up. It doesn't matter.
We're going to have a discussion about this at some point. And then, but for controls.
But let's just say, so on my matchless, there's basically 4 controls for
gain, tone, cut, and master. And with that, you can pretty much dial in the classic Paul Drew clean on the verge of breakup sound. No, I'm joking. But it goes everything from very clean to very dirty, but in a really nice musical way.
Yeah. So let's demonstrate it. Here's the sound we've got up at the moment. Is that with the bright switch in or out?
That's with the bright switch out.
Okay, so let's bring it in. So it adds that sort of glassy top end. This amp is a straight through amp. So as you increase the gain, you get more bottom end, you get more harmonics, I guess. So when you cut back the gain, the amp thins out a bit, so you can add some more sort of warmth, I guess, to that bottom end. Mm-hmm. That's a really bad way of explaining it. But
terrible, but you
got the idea.
I think they say pictures paint 1,000 words, but sonically even more so. Play as a chord. We then have our tone circuits, which are tone and cut. Now, again, I think these are a balance, very much so, depending on what you want to achieve.
Very much so, and they're very subtle, like my matchless. If you bring back, let's do the cut first.
Yeah,
that's it. Wind it all the way off first of all.
Really knocks out the super high end harshness, doesn't it?
Yeah, but not in a way that you go, oh, it's a massive increase. It just takes it off, takes away that sharpness, which I love.
About there is nice for me.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing there, but yeah.
Tone is almost the opposite. So we start at the bottom and...
It does feel amazing to play through. It's like, well, it feels like my matchless, which is that it's that immediate attack, which is very different to a lot of amplifiers. I love it.
But while that's, clean with a little bit of edge, we also have the full fat version.
Incredibly dynamic, the way that you can sort of relax when you're picking a bit.
And even at its highest gain setting, it still takes pedals really nicely.
A tube screamer.
Yes. We do have the high-low output option, so it'll be down to theoretically 10 watts, but it doesn't quite work like that, as we know from previous discussions with Dennis. Internally, and we'll cut to the shot that, quite frankly, I feared for Dennis's life at this point.
It takes a brave man to go into a valve amplifier, which, touching the wrong thing...
with pliers and soldering irons and stuff, while it's all live. Genuinely, I was like, oh my God, we're going to die. But
here's what I found.
Exactly. But what was amazing was changing out individual components and changing out tube types and just changing resistor values. And we were like, oh my God, it was properly enlightening.
Yeah, it was. And, basically Dennis was at the time saying, do you prefer this or do you like this? Do you like this or do you like this? Just changing different parts of the amp. It's fascinating. So if you look at the amp that we've actually got in the shot at the moment of the internals, that is Dennis. What did he call it? It's his sort of rough version.
Breadboard. His breadboard.
Is that his breadboard? Yeah. Which that to me looked incredibly neat.
Yeah, I know. And he was like, "Oh no, this is like components thrown in the board."
Yeah. So this is going to be a complete sort of hand wired, point to point, all that sort of stuff.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah. It is looking, or we're hoping now. We're starting to look at some way that you US listeners or watchers can viewers, I should say.
Yeah, we're talking to people about distribution. it would be amazing to have something to show at Namm, but I think that's going to be way too difficult for us. But depending on who we get in distribution, it might be able to happen. I'm not sure. I don't want to promise that, but that would
the amp will definitely be ready before Namm.
Yes, but wouldn't it be great to have it at Namm? So the next video you'll see will be the first 2 release candidate amps. You know, serial number 1 and 2.
I get 1, he gets 2.
Oh, okay, like that. Yeah. We'll both be at Namm. We're working on a way that you guys out in the States, viewers, watchers, listeners, whatever, will be able to get hold of this thing. We're currently in talks with distribution and kind of a way to make that work. It would be lovely to have one out at Namm. We're working on it really hard. We've worked, I won't say tirelessly because we do both sleep, but
I think Dennis has been working pretty hard.
Yeah,
it's just gone, I like that, I don't like that, I like that.
It's a labour of love. So, as you can probably imagine, this is going to be quite a rare beast. They're not going to show up all the time, and there's not going to be thousands of them. So, at this very early stage, if any of you are interested, just in the comments down there, just put, I fancy one, or I'd like one, let me know more, please, or something like that. It would be really great for our research.
Yeah, we're not trying to hold anything back about the facts and figures. It literally, things are changing, and we don't want to...
We don't want to promise stuff we can't deliver.
Exactly, yeah. There's a couple of things that need to be sorted out first. But I think, as I said, I think it's going to be quite reasonable.
And I'm really excited.
Yes. Anyway, really hope you guys got something out of this. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click on the bell button and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul.
I'm James.
And we'll see you next time.